One of our core values you learned about is education. We feel that educating you on the anatomy of a roof is crucial for your ability to succeed when you're out in the field identifying possible wear or damage on roofs, and also when having conversations with homeowners. It's important to know what you're talking about and be able to articulate that to homeowners. So let's dive into it. First, we have the eaves. The eaves are the first 3 feet of the top side of the roof, or the area from the edge of the fascia to the outside wall. The fascia is the board that is mounted to the end of the rafter tails. The fascia trim acts as the finishing edge that connects to the ends of the rafters or trusses. It is usually placed directly to the roof trusses and supports the bottom row of shingles that carries and supports the gutters. A rake is the sloping edge of a roof that runs from the eave to the ridge. A ridge is the horizontal line at the peak of 2 opposing roof planes. A hip is the external angle where 2 adjacent sloping sides of a roof meet. The degree or slope of this angle is called the hip bevel. A hip is the intersection of 2 adjacent roof planes where the water runs away from the intersection. A valley is the opposite of a hip in the way that water travels. A valley is the intersection of 2 adjacent roof planes where the water runs towards the intersection. A soffit is the section underneath the roof eave and or rake and is the space between the eave and the exterior wall. There are 2 different styles of soffit. The first style is an open soffit. An open soffit is described as an open soffit area where the ends of the rafter or trusses are exposed and visible from the underside of the roof. The second style is a closed soffit. A closed soffit is described as a soffit area with a closed and finished veneer, making the rafters or trusses not visible from the underside of the roof. Next, we have a dormer. A dormer is a section of roof extending from a larger section of a roofing plane. Gables are the triangular portion of wall between 2 opposing sloping roof edges running from the eaves to the ridge. Last but not least, we have clerestory. Clerestory is similar to a ridge in the way that it is the highest-most portion of the roof, like the ridge is. However, clerestory does not have an opposing roofing plane. Now that we have gone over the anatomy of a roof, let's go over some more common roof material types that you're going to run into. First up, we have composition or asphalt shingles. Within the composition shingle style, we have single laminate like 3-tab, bilaminate like architectural shingles, which are the most common, and presidential or designer shingles, which will typically be in the more upscale neighborhoods. Next up, we have metal. There are 2 common types of metal roofs, which are exposed fastener. We may see these around town, but they are less common. Concealed fastener. Typically, we will not need to knock these for their roof. They are designed to last a lifetime if installed correctly. Next, we have flat roofs. Flat roofs are much more common in the commercial space. However, there are some flat roofs in the residential market. The 2 most common types of flat roof will be PVC and TPO. They are nearly identical to the naked eye, so don't bother trying to distinguish between the 2 when out walking. Next up, we have wood shake. Wood shake is not extremely common, but it's definitely common enough to run into on a consistent basis. Wood shake, when brand new, looks great, but a lot of maintenance is required to keep it serviceable and looking good. Because of this, many of them will look like rotting, gray wood that is warped and split. Next up, we have tile roofs. Tile roofs are a fairly common roof type around Bend and Redmond. There are entire neighborhoods that are required by their HOA to have tile roofs. As a company, we do not install tile roofs on homes, but we can replace their tile roof with a composition or metal roof. There are some sporadic roof types that you may run into when walking in Central Oregon. You may see some shingles that are made of rubber or some sort of synthetic composite material. You may also see some shingles that are made of some type of metal, which could be steel or aluminum.